All right, we back at it, y'all.
We on sports today with VI Viral.
Yeah, so we got...
We're doing boxing, or like pugilism.
Yes.
Any type of fighting. Boxing, MMA.
Right, so we talked about UFC 290. We talked about Charlo versus Canelo. We talked about Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. What's coming up in November? Madison Square Garden. John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. I got to say his name correctly. Versus Stipe Miocic. It's official. It's set in stone. It's on November 11th in Madison Square Garden. It's going to probably be the biggest card of the year. I'm excited to see how they start to stack that card up with the rest of the fights. But the main card, obviously, is going to be Stipe Miocic versus John Jones. This is for ultimate supremacy as... I guess the greatest heavyweight of all time.
John Jones is going to beat us behind.
Come on, cuz. You got to, like, all right. So we just making picks right now? Okay, you think John Jones is going to beat up Stipe.
Yeah.
Why? Talk to me.
One, father time. He's 40.
Stipe's getting up there in age. I don't think he's 40, though.
He's 40. He's 40 years old. That's number one. Number two, his last fight, he got knocked out.
No, he didn't. He won his last fight because the last. Well, no, wait, yeah, he got knocked out by Francis.
So he got knocked out by Ngannou.
Yes.
So his chin,
but he's had time to recover. All right.
His chin has been loosened up.
I'm arguing as a devil's advocate right now because I think John Jones is going to win too. But go ahead. I'm listening. I'm hearing you.
And he's been off for what, 2 years now?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, not to say that Johnny has been active, because he hasn't, even though he just recently fought. But after, before this fight, he hadn't fought for what?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so but during that 3 years, what he was doing was putting on weight. He was trying to bulk up. So I believe he's going to beat him up. He's going to beat up Stipe, and I like Stipe, but he's going to beat him up. And pretty much, they lost the opportunity to pair him with Ngannou.
Yeah, and I think that's a fight that can still happen in the future. Ngannou versus John Jones, and I think that will happen after he fights Tyson Fury. So once Ngannou fights Tyson Fury, gets that under his belt and gets his bag,
he's gonna get embarrassed.
He's not gonna get embarrassed. He's gonna lose, but he's not gonna get embarrassed.
He's gonna get embarrassed,
and he's gonna make millions of dollars, bro. Like he's gonna pull a Conor versus Mayweather. He's gonna just make bank, bro.
He's gonna make millions of dollars. But he's going to lose value because...
No, he's not. He's not going to lose value. Did Conor lose value? Conor's star power
Conor proved to us that he was that good of a boxer.
He wasn't, because he is a good boxer.
But what we're going to see is Ngannou's that bad of a boxer.
I don't know that he's that bad of a boxer, but he's not a great boxer.
He has a good punch.
He has a very powerful punch, and he has a puncher's chance. The thing is, what we also have to note, and what we never want to talk about, is the fact that none of these motherfuckers are coming to MMA because they know they get their ass beat. So we got to come to boxing. So let's just settle that right now. Listen, no. Let's settle that real quick. Combat sports. Look, if you want to fight me for real,
but I'm not arguing that he would beat Ngannou in combat sports. Ngannou would wash him.
Okay, so we let that be clear first.
All right, so let that be clear. This MMA guy, he wants to let boxers know that if you want to use your hands,
you're not coming this way, man. We'll fold you like laundry.
Yes, and it's true. I do believe that, but you better hurry up and get them down because those boxers are going to knock you out. Like, I'm telling you that and I don't even like Fury.
Right.
I believe that the heavyweights now, Fury is very skilled. Mm-hmm.
He's got good hands.
He's good hands. He's
footwork.
A big guy. He's huge.
Yeah, he's 6'8", 6'9".
So
I don't believe it, but he's up
huge.
there.
He's whatever it is. He's 6 whatever. He's 6 up there.
He's 6 guy.
Yeah, he smothers you. He uses his size. He knows how to use his size.
Yeah.
He knows how to box. And I believe that he is going to make a mockery from a boxing standpoint. He's going to make a mockery of Ngannou. And it's going to lower his value.
I don't think it's going to lower his value.
I promise.
But he is going to make a killing. But that aside, I think that Stipe versus John Jones is going to be a really fun fight to watch.
He's going to mash him out.
It's not because, one, he can't do to Cyril Gane. He can't do what he did to Cyril Gane. He cannot do to Stipe Miocic, right? The thing is, Stipe's got fantastic wrestling. Stipe has got good boxing, but we all know what John Jones did to DC, and what John Jones did to DC, and what Stipe did to DC, which is their common denominator, right? That's the fight that they both have, that they both went through. And within that, you see that DC is given a very, very simple blueprint on how to beat Stipe Miocic, because DC and John Jones are both better wrestlers than Stipe is. And we saw what DC did in terms of his wrestling, although Stipe did start to defend it more and more in the later fights and the later rounds. But John Jones is a better MMA wrestler. We won't talk about accolades, but better MMA wrestler than DC and Stipe. And I think that if John decides to take him into deep waters when it comes to his grappling, he can do that. But Stipe has a better opportunity to protect himself and defend and possibly get off the ground from that. I don't know how likely that is. We haven't seen many people do that when it comes to John Jones getting you to the ground. We don't see many people get up. But on the feet, I feel that John Jones is going to use his kicks. He's going to use his elbows, and he's going to use his kickboxing just to start to pick Stipe apart. But if Stipe can kind of close that distance and use his boxing, then he can actually make it a fight. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think John wins. I don't think Stipe has anything really for John.
They pulled him off the shelf. Come on, listen.
But he's just been sitting back. I mean, he's a full-time firefighter. In all respect to firefighters, I got a lot of guys I went to high school with that are firefighters now. It's awesome. But you gotta, of course, you gotta be active. But these are two guys that have fought, one time each in the past 3 years. So
it's not happening. I'm going with John Jones in the landslide. They pulled him out of off the shelf.
Stipe just been waiting because he's done what he's done at the heavyweight division. He's arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time. I would argue that it's DC. But if John Jones can do what I think he's going to do to Stipe,
he got knocked out by Ngannou. How could you?
I mean, but he's got the most title defenses at heavyweight. He also has that accolade. This is don't get it twisted. I think that Francis Ngannou is better than Stipe. I think that John Jones, I thought that DC was. DC just didn't know how to change his game plan. That was the thing there. But neither here nor there.
Look at him.
Sounding like a hurt fan. It's an opinion
because Doughboy lost.
Oh my God! Here we go.
DC, I like you, DC. I think you're an incredible commentator. And you were an incredible fighter.
If he had changed his game plan,
I'm going to call you Doughboy just to mess with him.
He would have beat him if he had changed the game plan later in the fight, but neither here nor there. Whatever. Anyway, I think that John Jones wins. So I'm not disagreeing with you, but Stipe makes this a fight.
Yeah, because he's a body. You need two to tango. But
right,
you pulled him out.
Stipe is no slouch, though, bro. Like, you
he's
gotta
a
understand.
Slouch now at 40 years old after a knockout and being off for 2 years, and then thinking. I mean, basically, it's gonna be a slouch fest. Then is that what you're saying?
The thing is, Stipe's been knocked out before. This is as a part of what's made him who he is like he's had tough losses, and yeah, he got knocked out, but he's given himself time to recover. And one of the things that
see the difference with boxing, we don't just say he got knocked out. Getting knocked out matters.
It absolutely does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but John Jones has never been known to be a knockout artist.
I mean, one of those elbows will catch you.
Yeah, he'll wear you. John will wear you down. Like, that's what's gonna happen. And I think I'm
not even excited to see.
I think the fight goes 5 rounds. Is what I'll say. I think that John handily beats him, but I think Stipe could last 5 rounds with John Jones, which I think. Heavyweight John Jones, how big he is, how strong he looks, is an impressive thing to do.
I think he wants to submit him.
I don't know that he can, but he can try.
I think he's gonna want. I think he's gonna want to beat this guy in a dominant fashion. Why? Because he's considered the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Right. And
so if you tap him out or put him to sleep. That's what you got to do. You got to end the fight. No 5. Don't go the distance and win by decision. No.
Because the thing is, Stipe, when he preps for certain guys, he preps in 2 different ways. One, the second fight, he goes lighter. The second fight with DC, he can go lighter, so he can come in there and he'll be 235, 230. Max 240, or sometimes he'll go 245, 250, and he'll put on some size. I think what he has to do when he's dealing with John Jones is he has to put on a little bit more size, work on his strength in this situation. He's got now a few more. He's already been training for this fight. Don't get it twisted. He's already been preparing for this fight, but now he's got a clear timeline now
So you think
it's
that's
July
the angle? You think
to
that's
November.
the angle he's gonna take?
He's
Bigger,
gonna
stronger, wear him out?
he's gonna walk. He's gonna come in there. I'm gonna say he's probably gonna be maybe 245, maybe 250, because he can't be anything lighter than 240, going against John Jones at 255.
John Jones is 255.
That's what he's walking around. John Jones probably walking around 265. In the fight, he'll probably be 255. He was 253 when he fought Cyril Gane. So that's what the range John is going to be in. 255-pound John Jones is going to be too big a straw for 230-pound Stipe Miocic.
Mm-hmm.
So John is going to have to. John is going to be at that 250, 255 range. Stipe is going to need to be at that 245, 250 range to make it a tougher fight for John. To make it a bigger body, a tougher body to have to wrestle with, to strike at, to hit. And whenever Stipe is going to use his boxing and try to get on the inside, he's going to have to make it count, and he's going to have to make John pay, because if he doesn't, John's going to, like you said, pick him apart. So I'm not disagreeing that what you're saying is right. I think John's going to win. But if Stipe is going to have a chance to make this a real fight and to make this, one for the history books for a championship bout, what he's going to do, what he can do to Stipe is, again, pick him apart with his kickboxing and then use that to set up his wrestling and then start to manhandle him on the ground. That's the setup.
I see him kicking, swinging elbows, punches, knees, and just beating Stipe up and then choking him out. I don't know why. That's what I see. I see he's just going to just run through him.
All right. Well, we got a few months to see before it happens, so we're going to figure it out. So yeah, that's everything that we had on the docket.
Covered anything with some scrapping.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, anytime we talk about VI Viral, we talking about anything pugilism, fighting, we always big up our three greats. Julian Jackson over in St. Thomas, Bramble over in St. Croix, and the great Emil Griffith in St. Thomas. Those are our
forefathers, if you will.
Forefathers, the top of the line. That is the what's that? Those faces.
Mount Rushmore.
No, those are our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
The Virgin Island boxing Mount Rushmore. I would say Emil Griffith, Jackson. I don't know. How would we? Could we really?
Do we want to rank them?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know that we rank them. I think that's the point of a Mount Rushmore, is that it's not in any necessary ranking order.
Those are our top three.
Yeah.
My favorite, obviously, was Jackson.
Do your research and learn a little bit more about who these guys are when it comes to the Virgin Islands and combat sports. Obviously, my goal is to get my name in the mix too. Of course, I am also a Virgin Islander. VI born boy. St. Thomas. The VI.
Them Croix gonna get you, them
Yeah, of course. I rep Jersey all day, but this is where I'm from. This is my home. And so hopefully I'll get my name on that Mount Rushmore someday. But I got some work to do.
Okay? I'm done. I just love boxing. I'm a fiend. Anytime there's a major fight on, I'm constantly looking at fights, looking at angles. I look at it so much as if I'm going to bet. And I don't bet. But we are going to have some advertisements with some of the biggest betting companies, more than likely FanDuel and DraftKings. I wouldn't doubt that we'd get them as sponsors soon. Just look forward to that.
In the future.
Yeah, in the future. Yeah, a little Monster.
All right.
Okay.
Any other? All right, let's wrap it up, man. Any other shout outs that you got?
Man, shout out to everybody in the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, the homeland, the family, the Bells, the Donadells, St. Croix, St. Thomas, Tortola. Big up to Brooklyn, everybody in New York, family in Atlanta, and basically just the whole sporting community, but most importantly, the Virgin Islands.
Absolutely. Shout out to all my Jersey folk out there who always show love and support. All my folks out in China. Yeah. Daja Hao. Yeah, y'all don't know nothing about that, but
I'm coming out there.
Yeah, we got some things, major things we got to do out there in China as well. But like my cousin said, shout out to all the VI fam. Shout out to all our family all around the world.
VI strong.
Make sure you support the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, share. Make sure you comment. Talk about it.
Listen, we need, our objective is 1 million subscribers. We want to have 1 billion hours worth of views. And, we're going, it's VI Viral, baby.
Let's go.
We
out, boy.
Don't doubt the thing. Don't doubt, I tell you.
I is a VIG name.
VIG.
All right, peace.
Hold on. Hold on. This is the soundtrack.
Man, I'll put that in post, man. All right, we out.
Yeah, we need.